All right, y'all, once again, welcome to Check Me. I got my boy Meech on again, handshake.
Right.
Yeah, handshake. You know, he's like, hey, man, we dapping up for a handshake.
Come on, bro.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the fitness industry. We're going to take a lens and just kind of unravel and talk about, some things that we, may have a different perspective on, some things that we feel are doing well, and just kind of like an overall thought process on the fitness industry. You can see Meech right now, he's walking apart. I'm a little bit leaner, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm walking apart as well, too.
Definitely.
But yeah, like so far, like what are your thoughts on the fitness industry? Like, what are you like what are your thoughts?
Okay, so like just to start on the positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's good that a lot of people like to work out now.
Yeah,
it seems like it's getting a lot more popular. Like it's just a regular thing. I go out. A lot of people ask me questions. People are curious. And they're actually more knowledgeable. People know that it's good to prioritize protein. There are some people that are smart that know cardio is good. But on the other hand, when it comes to like just the superficialness of fitness, I was working out before it was like popular, or it was like, oh, look at me, and I've noticed now people prioritize how they look, and they'll sacrifice their health just to look a certain part, And I got an example for you. Like yesterday, I was at the gym. There's just one regular that I'm cool with, and I speak to him. He always shows love. He's a young dude. He's 30 years old, and I say, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? He told me, yeah, man, I just hopped on TRT. Like, I'm like, right. Like you're so young. Like, why are you doing that now? I was like, I wouldn't even consider it until like I'm in my 50s or 60s. I mean, and that's a if, But I just let him, I just let him tell me that, because I'm sure he probably felt like I took something because of the way I look. But yeah, man, that's just one of the things off the top of my head that I've noticed in the fitness industry. I don't really rock with. Like, what are things that you notice? So
I did want to ask, like, do you ever feel like obligated to tell people, or is it like, hey, look, that's your thing? Right, because you have the look, right?
Yeah.
You're natural. You have the look that a lot of people like. Like they want to be swole. They want to be big meats, right? Do you feel that like it's an obligation to let them know like how I got here was natural?
I think
take anything.
If people ask me, if they're curious, then I tell them. If they ask me, because I don't ever want to come across like I'm like preaching, because I'm already judging you. Like, if you tell me you take TRT, if you take steroids, it's all love, man. I know a lot of people that take steroids that are cool peoples, but I don't rock with it, but they'll never know that until they ask my perspective, or they ask me a question. I'm never gonna just be like, no, you shouldn't do this, because nobody's gonna listen to you when you're like offering information. If they're coming to you asking, that means they're coming with an open ear.
Right.
So that means that's when you're able to give them that real.
You feel like obligated.
Yeah.
To answer your question, to me, like the fitness industry for me, like I look at the peak fitness you can ever get is being a professional athlete, right? That is, being a professional athlete is tied directly to athletic performance, right? Like you're performing, you're competing at the highest level. Everything below that is like a substandard. So, but if you look at the principles of like athletic training, look at the principles of functional fitness, health and wellness, performing those principles, not at the progressive level or the intensity as athletics, should be applied in my regular fitness routine.
Absolutely.
Am I doing functional lifts? Am I doing free weights? Am I doing conditioning or cardio? Am I eating right? These things. Recovering, right? Like these things are things that I feel everyone, if you're doing fitness, should focus on. Anything outside of that is not helping your everyday life. So if you look at like the oldest judge at the time, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, was doing functional lifts months before she died.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing a bodybuilder type lift. She was doing her functional lifts, right, with free weights, because functional lifts are directly tied to health and wellness.
Yeah, I want to ask you though, what is a bodybuilder type of workout? So type of lift?
Right. So
just to like separate.
Yeah. So short range of movements, You're focused on hypertrophy, muscle growth, instead of muscle function. So for example, if I flex my bicep here, right, and I do a bicep curl, and I say I want to pump this bicep and not train other muscles that may be attached to it or my tendons. If I do this right here, simply do this, I'm pumping the muscle up, but it's connected to my central nervous system. So then I train my central nervous system only to go right here when I do a bicep or in everyday life. So if I were reaching for something in the cabinet, or if I'm trying to lift something or help someone, my central nervous system only has trained and told my body to go like this. So I'm short-ranging my lift.
So you're training yourself to be like a remote, like a robot action figure.
That's why if you look at a lot of bodybuilders, they can't even put their arms down. They're like this, right? They can't scratch their back. There's no flexibility, mobility. So that's probably the main part of it when it comes to functional fitness that I think challenge. Like, you're not training. Now, if I train my arm all the way to go right here, I'm training functional fitness. This is what Ruth Bader Ginsburg was doing. She was training for functional fitness instead of me going like this, trying to get a pump in. I think hypertrophy is a great thing when you're reverse engineering the process when you get older, because muscle atrophy is deterioration of the muscle, and there has to be some type of hypertrophy, however you say it, type of component to it. But if you're just doing it for a look or aesthetic, there has to be some type of guardrails you can't go across where you're, hey, look, I'm going to pump. It's better for me to pump my full arm and get the whole arm strong rather than just the muscle. So that's the main part. The other thing is like how they diet in and out of seasons is not healthy. You binge, eat, and then like you cut, and then like it's not healthy. You know, being below a certain amount of percentage fat, like if you're in 6 or 7% percentage body fat, that's not healthy. Like you want some body fat. So like bodybuilding in itself, for the aesthetic, when I look at performance, like just running or jogging, they can't even run.
Have you seen a bodybuilder like try to run a route or?
Oh my goodness, bro! Like hamstrings don't work. You know, they're stiff, running like this. It's just not. It's just not.
They look like they're wearing a fat suit. Like,
it does. They do, and it looks like they're struggling.
Yeah.
Like there's videos that I've seen of like bodybuilders running, and they just don't. They don't like look like they're running at all. So that's the challenge. Like, you know, like I feel like more people are looking at bodybuilder as peak health and wellness.
That is what really, and that's why I try to separate, like, because when you work out, when you're in good shape, like, and you're a bigger guy, people assume, hey, when are you getting on stage? Like, no, there's a difference, because bodybuilding is like pageantry. It's
a pageant.
It's more
That's
like
it's
more just look focused, you know. But when it comes to being an athlete, when it comes to being, you know, wanting longevity, wanting to be healthy, like it's from the inside out. You want your mind to be right. You want your spirit, everything. It's everything.
That's another thing. With bodybuilding, there are a lot of psychological traits that come with it. One of them is narcissism, and then hypersexualism.
Oh yeah.
Those are two things that like and this is not even stuff that people are on. They're not even on stuff. That just the idea of bodybuilding. Like,
it's vanity, because you have to. First of all, you're looking for external validation. It's not even something that you're not looking at the mirror thinking like, oh, I look good. You're like, well, I hope the judge thinks I'm pro enough.
Right. Like, hey, look,
you can't control that, so you'll go crazy.
Right, and the standard always gets farther and farther and farther with your aesthetic. You want to look leaner and leaner and leaner, and then you start getting unhealthy and healthy, and then you get to the point where you're on TRT, you're on steroids. Like, I don't get, like, I mean, I get it, right?
I don't get it.
I don't, but here's the thing. I understand why. I don't get it, but I understand why people get on steroids. I feel that they get because they feel like they reach their peak natural physique. That's the main thing. You reach your peak natural.
That's their excuse,
right? But like, hey, there's nothing wrong with your peak natural physique.
Accept yourself.
Accept yourself. Like, accept who you are.
Yeah,
bro. But they get on stage, and like, for me, I think it's real corny, to be honest with you.
You're wearing like a Speedo?
Anybody can, and I look at a capability, right? If you want to be a bodybuilder right now, could you?
Of course.
Right. If you want to play NFL right now, could you?
No. And that's the thing. Yeah.
That's the standard, right?
It takes a skill to like be an athlete.
It takes a skill, and for me, I don't like to engage in things, really a lot of things I know I'm capable of when it comes to my health and wellness. I like to engage in things that have true value, have longevity, that give an immediate impact, that help me, not just like I'm going to compete for a short period of time to get on stage. Because if I wanted to get big, I can change my training style to do that. I can, take some stuff, whatever, and then get big and then get my pro card. Like I'm a pro.
You raised a good point when you're saying I think you kind of pigeonhole yourself whenever you take on like bodybuilding and just taking that seriously, even if you don't go pro, because say you do get success in it or you get bigger, you're getting further and further away from who you are. Honestly, you're wearing makeup, but it's drugs because you're getting bigger. You're not really yourself. Yeah. But most importantly is that in order for you to continue feeling good and in the state that you're in, you're gonna have to continue taking drugs, taking the steroids, and you're hurting yourself because it's damaging your body.
You have to push
it's like
that
a
limit.
Cyclical, like, I need to feel good, so let me take drugs, but the drugs is hurting me, but I need to keep on feeling good, feel proud of myself.
Right.
So
gotta look in the mirror and feel, and that's why, like, you look at supplements. I think there's some good supplements. Like, listen, creatine? I don't take creatine. Creatine's a good supplement.
What do you think about protein powder?
I think it's like I don't. Just disclaimer. I don't take anything. I don't look like I take anything, but I don't take anything. I don't take protein powder. I don't take creatine. I don't take no pre-workout. Nothing. I'm running on pure raw hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. That's just how I operate. But I do see the benefits of creatine, protein. I don't like
pre-workout.
Pre-workout.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I think
I
pre-workout.
got off of it because my sleep was gone. I couldn't do anything. My energy was done. Like, you got to be really careful with it.
Right.
Like,
And from a cardio standpoint, your heart, just that it's unhealthy as well too, like a 5-hour energy. So there's a lot of factors in it that affect, as far as our central nervous system sends signals that are affected by pre-workout. And with pre-workout, the more you gotta take, the more you take, you have to like continue to take more and more and more to get that jolt. But I think creatine, being able, if you want to put on some muscle, being able to hold water weight, water weight,
it puts the water in the muscle.
Oxygen. I think it's good. If someone takes creatine, I always recommend like a cycle. So like if you say I'm gonna do creatine for about a month and a half, right? Try to get the water in, because a lot of people get off creatine and their muscles deflate, right? So my theory is like, how can I attain the physical fitness I want with, without taking anything by my natural state? Protein powder is fine. It's just that when you get like 26 grams of protein, your body's gonna absorb it differently. There's been a lot of studies on this about like protein powder and your body not absorbing it the same rate as if I eat 26 grams of chicken, which is a lot. But your body naturally is going to absorb natural food more healthier. It's going to last longer. Casein is one thing that helps out like protein. If you take like whey isolate or casein, it's like whey isolate.
I take the vegan protein.
The vegan protein, that's good. Yeah, and meal replacements. If you're not getting enough protein, it's good. You're trying to pack on a couple pounds.
I'm trying to retain my muscle. That's where I'm at.
Well, sometimes you need protein, right?
Well, yeah.
Because if you're lifting your output and you're building muscle, I think it's a good scalable use of protein to get to that point to keep the muscle, pack on muscle. Those are safe. Like TRT is like, we're talking about hormones.
That's literally steroids. They try to name it something different so you feel better. No, it's steroids.
It's the same exact thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that I think in the fitness industry we can take a look at.
But is there any? Because I know you are sports focused. You're sports, but is there any positive you see nowadays that fitness has brought?
I do.
Because you just went ham on just like.
I did. When we look at like Ben Patrick, the ATG system, I'm not sure if you know, he helping the knee. I think that.
Are you talking about okay.
Knees over toes guy, that. That's good. But like there's different generations of fitness. When you look at like holistically, like your Christian Guzman, your Bradley Martins, your what's the guy? Chris Bumstead's. Like, I think the good thing is, like you said, people are getting out working.
Exactly.
It's bringing community together who people who don't work out. But the good, the bad almost outweighs the good.
Yo, Seth has nothing good to say about the fitness industry.
I can't, like, this is why I feel like I'm like, and I follow some of these guys, you know, like Christian Guzman's a guy I followed like when he started his YouTube page. And I'm like, you know who he is or no?
Christian Guzman?
Yeah. I follow him and what's the other guy, Matt, whatever it is, but I followed him and
What about Greg Doucette?
but the thing is like, he's a guy that's step back. We talk.
Yeah, exactly.
He's cool, but like he's still on TRT. He's still what's it? What Turk
yeah,
Builder?
on,
What is that?
Yeah, Turk Builder. What is that?
I don't. Is that? I try to.
No, they try to say it's like it's not TRT, but it's better than creatine. So it's like right in the middle.
I don't know. Like I mean, I like once on steroids, always on steroids, right? Once on the gear, you're on the gear all the time. But I just feel that people are trying to attain a look that doesn't contribute to performance. And that's the big thing. Like if I'm going 100% in the wrong direction, is it a good thing? The effort's there, right? Like people want to go workouts there, but you're going in the wrong direction.
Okay, so I got a question for you, and I hear what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
Okay, so do you is your main reason to work out, is it for performance or health?
Health, ultimately health.
Okay,
But health and performance are tied together. Because if I'm healthy, I can perform well, right?
Okay.
I can perform well, but I may not always be healthy. Like when we're playing football.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you said. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like performing. I can play football, but I can perform well, but I may not be healthy. You know, I can go to cardiac arrest. I can tear an ACL because I'm not performing. I'm not taking it at being healthy. That's the thing about fitness industry. Like, is that like what do you feel like? Do you feel like the fitness industry is like going in the right direction when it comes to being healthy?
I think it's taking a turn. I think now a lot of people are giving people that want to do it the right way, or that are championing just doing things the right way and focusing more on health. I think that's being more like put to the forefront. Yeah. Because, you know, when that's why people still passively or like even aggressively try to avoid like saying that they take steroids.
Right.
You know, so and I think it's starting to move towards people wanting to just be out. They're looking for authenticity because online and just in general, like nowadays, everything is so superficial. Everybody wants to look the part. People are looking for authenticity now. Right. You know, and I think that aligns with, you know, being, you know, natural and just focusing on health.
I guess.
I know. I mean, maybe that's just the bubble I'm in because that's what
It's a generational thing. Like I think younger generation, these 16, 17, 18, 20.
Do you talk to them? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, they come through and work out. I mean, but mainly comes through works out here is our athletes. In my job, that demographic, that's what their goal is. But I follow a lot of these guys. Okay. Like, you know, trying to grow on YouTube. Like, I want to know, hey, what they've grown, what are they doing right? So I want to pick from that, and I follow these stories. And you see the comments, you see it on social media. Like every time you see a fitness influencer, correct me if I'm wrong, every time I see a female fitness influencer, they're from the age of 19 and 22, 23. Yeah. They're doing booty workouts, right? And they're all the workouts are booty workouts. They have a look. They throw the Gymshark on. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I got another thing. Like, the fitness industry has now been pigeonholed. It's like it's just a young person thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not realistic. These people are just young. Right. That's why they look the way they do. What real fitness is like people that are older in age are able. What are they doing to sustain being in healthy shape? Yeah. In a world where, you know, you can go down the street and go to 7-Eleven, get a Slurpee, and you can order Uber Eats, like
grab something in the cabinet and not have a shoulder problem, or, you know, have to reach. The fitness industry, like if I'm 19 and 25, 26, what I would be focusing on is like, what's my peak aptitude performance when it comes to the high standard of athleticism? If I'm already in shape, I'm not trying to Like, bro, you were doing backflips. You were doing box jumps. Like, you were testing your body out to its limit during that time period. We saw you in Gold Gym jumping over the
I can still do it too.
Stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is like, how long can you sustain that, right? And position yourself so you can and not injuring yourself when you get younger. You know, these kids these days, man, like, and some adults too, because it's a cycle. Some of these 50-year-olds, a lot of these 50-year-olds, 40, 50-year-olds are on TRT as well too.
Well, that's the main demographic of people that take TRT. And that's actually what makes sense to me. I'm not even going to lie.
It does.
Because as a man,
yes, it does, yes.
You naturally lose your testosterone as you get older.
Right.
And you want to be healthy. You want to be virile as you get older. You want to have a better quality of life. The only thing is learning how to keep that up naturally.
The way
that's possible.
The way to do it naturally is how you train. And a lot of people don't train like a
lot
of people.
How you eat, Seth? You never talk about how you eat.
I try to eat fairly well. I eat what my wife makes for the most part. So about like 80% of the time is whatever she makes, I eat.
That's good, as long as she's cooking.
Yeah, she cooks. So like literally like chicken, turkey beef, regular beef, salmon. We eat 3 to 4 times a night. We have that. I try taking a lot of greens as well too. And then, but the big thing is I just started. We talked about this. Like really, for my thing is like water.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have to figure out. Like I'm drinking a lot more water, but
what I do recommend: Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi.
But I don't even drink soda. So I drink no soda. I haven't had soda in like 12. So I don't drink soda. I eat like maybe one piece of candy every year.
What do you drink?
Usually like I take like the Minute Maid juices and I pour half water in it. Okay. So I dilute it.
That's
sweet tea, dilute my sweet tea. So everything is diluted. So I mainly get like if I'm not drinking water, the time I do drink water, I'm drinking that.
If it's working, it's working. Cause
it is. I mean, I have my physical to say I'm okay. But like I know like for me like muscle growth, you know, cardio. Waters and like for me like I can go out there and I can run a 5.5 minute mile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that like I said, I can perform well, but and like is it healthy?
Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
I want to perform a 5.5 minute mile, you know, healthy rather than just going
running on Minute Maid.
Running on Minute Maid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the sugar.
Yeah.
You know, so I have been more conscious with my sugar. There was 4 things I took out really like limited in my diet. And I do eat Five Guys like once a week.
I didn't want to say it.
Bro, I eat Five Guys like once a week. But bread, sugar, cheese, and bread, sugar, cheese, and red meat. Those are the things I try to limit in my diet.
Yeah.
I've done that since 2014.
Okay, you're really strict with that too.
I am. Like I won't eat a snack. I'll fast. So another thing too, like I typically fast.
Okay, that's really good.
That's
underrated.
Until like 1 o'clock almost every day.
When do you stop eating?
Like around 12. So I'll eat like around 1 o'clock.
12 p.m.
12 a.m.
12. Okay.
Right. So I work out late at night. And so here's like my routine. This is a crazy routine, right? For the most part, I usually fast until like 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I eat lunch. I eat a pretty substantial large lunch. Then around like 8 o'clock, I'll eat like a fair meal, what my wife makes. Then I'll come back in the kitchen around like midnight and then eat what's like the leftovers from dinner.
Okay.
Then I make sure I get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So then I usually try to wake up until like 10 o'clock. So I'll tell my body like go to sleep. And my wife and I, we have an agreement where I'm like, hey, look, morning, you take your kids in the morning. If I'm working from home, I'll take the kids in the evening.
Yeah,
you know. So we have that like I'll put the kids down, she takes the kids out. But your diet's pretty strict though. Like is it pretty strict or not?
I track everything I eat.
You track
Especially
everything.
right now, I'm on this. I am getting down to 205. So yeah, I track everything I eat.
So you're at 205?
Well, no, right now I'm at 220.
220? Okay.
Yeah.
But so is your goal to stay at 205?
Yeah.
Stay at 205.
That's where I'm gonna be because the whole reason why I'm getting down there is because I went to the doctors, got news that my blood work, like cholesterol's high, all those markers that are higher.
Right.
And
I mean, you still look full though, right?
Yeah, I feel good, but I'm like, hey, I champion health and fitness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. So I gotta do right. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just getting my weight down because you can look you might look good, but you're not healthy.
You feel good.
You know. So I've I really only eat the food I cook. You know,
That's good.
And I drink.
Percentage-wise, it's like 90%.
No, 100% right now.
If you go out to eat, like what do you eat when you go out typically?
Yeah, I would get. I'll just
You
make
actually go out to eat, do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I have.
How long is a while since you gone out to eat?
Yeah, it's been like since last month.
Last month since you gone out to eat?
Yeah.
Like anything?
Yeah, I don't eat out. I do not eat
Really?
out. I cook all my food.
That's strict. That's legit.
Is it last month?
Last month?
Wait, Seth, what's going on? Like last month? That's not that long. There's some people that
two. So two in 2 weeks.
No, like literally like a month and a half ago. I went out with my girl.
Hey,
we went to
check. What? A month. See, when was the last time you went out to eat? If it's over a month, I want you to comment.
What is going out? What is going? You mean
Like
going to
no,
Five Guys?
Like a restaurant, Five Guys.
Five. You talking about fast food? Oh yeah, then I get it. People go to fast food every day.
I don't eat.
Five Guys is fast food, bro.
Five Guys is not fast food.
What?
Five Guys is fast casual.
Okay.
First of all,
you said fast and casual. That's
we'll have
not
another
even
conversation
food.
about this, but Five Guys is not fast food. It's fast casual. The reason why it's not even fast casual.
It's fast. It's fast. That's what you said.
Five Guys is, first of all, their whole supply chain is completely different than most supply chains. They use real meat, never frozen.
Okay.
Right. They have sensors when they transport the meat to make sure it's fresh, never frozen. Potatoes are real potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They season the burgers, the beef, which is 100% USDA grade beef. But they season it with just salt,
Oh,
like a little bit of salt. So you're getting a real patty, real beef. If you're getting a 8-ounce piece of steak, it's almost like eating a burger, right? So they just season it with salt. They cook the fries with peanut oil, right?
Okay.
But it's real potatoes, and like everything else is organic, like vegetables. So like you're getting real. The difference between Five Guys and most restaurants is you're getting 110% real food.
Yeah, you're getting real food. My thing is tracking how much you're putting in your body, because there's all these hidden oils and how much fat is in the meat that's being cooked. Like that's what I think about whenever I eat out. That's why I try to avoid eating out. But
so
on
average, my meal at Five Guys is about 1,800 calories.
One meal.
1,800.
1,800 calories.
So the burger,
Ooh,
I get 3 patties. The 3 patties I do all the way with no tomato, no pickle. So that's about 1,100.
Yeah.
The fries in itself are about maybe, I think it was like 500 calories, 600 calories. And then I drink, like I go to drink, I drink a lot of calories. I drink the sweet tea.
Yeah.
I don't put water when I go there because I'm like, hey, look, I'm gonna eat good.
Yeah, let's go in.
So I'm about 1,800 calories. Now, after church on Sunday, I typically do this.
You're also an ectomorph too.
I'm ectomorph, but also how I train allows me to do this.
Yeah.
So I do zone 4. I sprint 3 or 4 times a week.
How far do you run for, or how long?
So I do about 2 miles every week. I do 2 miles twice every week, and I sprint 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
Right. So I burn a lot of what I'm like after I eat that meal, and I'll lay down, take a nap, wake up, I'll work out 4 o'clock, then play with the kids, etc. And then work out again at night.
Yeah.
So like my output for most people is huge. Like and with kids, like I'm on the scooters for 2-3 hours a day. I'm out in the field 2-3 hours a day. I'm playing basketball with Nick. Like literally, like I'm doing about maybe 2 or 3 hours at least every single day of physical activity. So
every day.
Every day.
Yeah, that's great.
Like
that's
every
good.
day. So, but I mean, a month is really that's darn good discipline. Like that's like almost peak health. Like health, like, and you don't have the desire to like.
No.
Like to like.
I used to. My main cravings are like 7-Eleven. Like really.
7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Like a spicy Big Bite, no dip.
Yeah, like the 7-Eleven pizzas.
Really?
Oh my goodness, it's so good. And then the Gushers, sour Gushers. Like I just eat candy.
When I was in college, I would get the spicy Big Bites, no Diddy. Like I'll kill a glizzy quick. But,
what the heck? I'll kill a glizzy quick. It's crazy.
But it was 2 for 22 in college.
Yeah.
In college, at the 2 for 22, you could put anything on it. So I was getting that spicy Big Bite. It's disgusting. Throwing chili, relish, everything on that joint. And I was just eating the joint like 2. I mean,
that's where I'm at.
It was a meal, a meal for $2.50.
But and you were also a kid too.
But we were playing football,
and we were moving.
But I mean, so 7-Eleven pizza, like that's like Like,
Man, it just when your cravings are up, that like just
anything
subsides.
is there.
Yeah, like Gushers, Starburst.
Those chicken wings do be looking good.
And the chicken wings, like
Gushers, that's crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no rules. That's why, like whenever I do get on my like strict shit, strict stuff, then I just say I stick with it. But I know I gotta up my calories because I'm just consuming 2,000 calories a day right now.
I mean, if you're trying to maintain though, right?
I'm trying to cut.
You're trying to cut?
Yeah, I'm cutting. So I'm gonna do this all the way till I get down to 205.
Where you at now?
By the grace of God. I am gonna get down to 205. Excuse me. I'm at 220 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Timeline,
it's gonna take me another
end of
like
the year?
Whoa, no. See, that'd be a really good pace, but I'm thinking probably like end of August.
End of August?
That's really fast, right?
It depends on how you get there. Like,
it's 15 pounds, you know.
I think so for you, yes. For somebody else trying to gain 15 pounds who marginally works out, no.
Yeah.
Creating the habit's more important than
just getting there.
Because what happens, you hit a wall. But you already have a habit, right? You already have a routine. So like getting down to 15 pounds, you can find 15 pounds is not a problem. I always overshoot my goals. Like right now, I'm 179. My goal is to get 175, and I gave myself a 2.5 year goal. 2.5 year.
Wait, what? You said
I'm 179.
You want to get down to 175?
175.
Bro,
but
I've literally gotten down 7 pounds in the past 3 days.
And then maintained it. How long have you maintained it for?
When I first started back in February, I was like 235, and then I've gotten down to 215,
That's
220.
Good. That's good.
And I've just been floating around this weight
right.
for like the past time, but my ultimate goal is 205. So
I think 205, man. Like 205 looks great on you, dog. No, I think it look great on you.
I think
because you're like a little bit like 6'1", a little bit taller, like we're almost the same height. I think you're a smidge taller than me. We're the same height, and I'm 175. Yeah. Right, we carry weight differently, but 205 will be. Right, especially for you running.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be.
That's what I prioritize now.
Bro.
That's why I was surprised that you only run 2 miles every 4 miles a week.
4 miles a week, twice every week, and
you sprint. How many sprints?
So I do 3 to 4 times a week. I'll do one uphill sprint where I put the treadmill all the way up to the highest incline, and I'll do 10 sprints for 10 seconds, 10 seconds, and then I'll do 2 times a week. I'll do 8 sprints at just flat. For 30 seconds. So I want to take a lot less pounding on my knees to help my knees a little bit longer.
So you think even running on the treadmill, your knees will still get beat up?
Oh yeah, it's actually, so when I do my sprints, for the most part, I do it on grass with shoes.
Because that's why I run on the treadmill, because I'm trying to avoid knee injury, but I feel good though.
I mean, running is not bad. The main thing is like you're doing 3 miles, right? Every day.
Well, average. I'm doing 3.5 miles, and then there are days like today I ran 12 miles today.
Right. So like, there's something called, like, I'm sure you know, the law of diminished returns, right? That's when too much of something hurts you. Our body's gonna first burn calories from carbs, calories from fat, and calories from muscle. So at a certain point, if I'm running longer than to the point where I'm burning calories from fat, I'm burning muscle, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure like I get to that point where I'm burning fat and I just stop. So it's my train, zone 4, stop. So sprinting for me, I can help develop long speed, right? Speed endurance, but it allows my hamstrings to make sure I'm being explosive. One day, believe it or not, I did a full workout, and my wife and I were joking. We were like, oh, you know, like, she's like, Seth, you don't run anymore. I'm like, babe, look, I run. Like, I can run, I do this, right? She's like, Seth, you don't run long distance anymore. You just don't do it. You don't got it in you.
Oh.
So I was like, babe, look, I can run to 5 guys right now and in a good time. And I forgot what my time was, but I ran from our house to the 5 guys in Reston.
What?
Nonstop. After a leg workout.
Wow.
So I did a leg workout, and I did it like in a minute and, an hour and like 12, 14.
You ran straight.
Straight. So I did a full leg workout and ran there.
It's just in you. You just a runner.
Right. So like
you're a born runner.
Right. So right. So it was hard for me to develop speed, but when I get out there and I train with a bunch of other guys, like I can't. Like I realized my legs were getting. So the reason why I want to get down to 175 is because I'm too heavy. My legs are heavy. I trained with the guy. he came here often. His name is Eamon. Shout out to Eamon. Plays basketball at Mary Baldwin. We went out to run, and he was just killing me. And can, okay. Kenya, here, take it.
I had one more question before we.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. I'm just gonna cut this part out.
Okay. Yeah. So the question I had is, what would you tell? What would your 18-year-old self think of you now? No. I don't want that. I don't like that question.
What you thinking?
Nothing.
What would your 18-year-old self tell yourself now?
My 18-year-old self?
What would your 18-year-old self tell yourself now?
Oh, yeah. What would my 18-year-old self tell myself now?
Yeah. Or
Wow,
what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Oh, okay.
How would your 18-year-old self feel about you now, and what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
What I would tell my 18-year-old self.
This is like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah. That's 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
Yeah. So I would tell him, hey, man, just relax, man. You already got it. You just have to believe in yourself and go and do it. Stop looking outside. Just do what you have to do. Everything is okay. There's nothing wrong.
Your workout, how much has it changed since 18?
It's not as much like explosion. Because
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of power cleans, hang cleans. We used to do the
push press.
Yeah, push
press. We go like that.
I don't do that stuff anymore, and
Yeah.
I use like machines a lot now more, and that kind of that reminds me of when we were talking about the whole bodybuilding joke, how they focus on using machines, and like I'm completely against machines for the most part because it's just you're just working the muscle. Like it's not really you're not working your stabilizer muscles or putting any pressure on your tendons or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
It's
so
a machine doing all the work.
but yeah, but now I also use machines sometimes for like cables and stuff like that.
I think machines are good for like, if you have somebody, like you're trying to develop a certain area, like you have a hamstring injury, like your shoulder or something. Like, I think it's good for hypertrophy, or hypertrophy, everyone say it. I think it's good. I have a machine in here, and the reason why I got the machine was like I like hitting my triceps, right? I like hitting my back with a little lat pull down to supplement my pull-ups. I mean, overall, like I'm not like if someone's bodybuilding, like I'm rooting them on, right? Like, hey, congratulations, you're working towards something, even though I don't agree with it, right? But if someone's like just training for aesthetic, I'm just like, there's so much more, but you can't tell them. You can't, like, if you tell someone who's a bodybuilder, right, who's training bodybuilder, if you tell them like, hey, how you're training is not healthy for you, what type of response would you get?
That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying?
Great question.
They'll just be like,
I would think they would. I don't even know what reaction I would get. I think I'd probably get anger, because of roid rage, something like that.
Most part.
Yeah.
They'll deny. They'll start talking about what the correct way of training that pertains to bodybuilding. I'm like, hey, that's great for bodybuilding if you want to do this, but if you're trying to actually like be healthy in life, like, then you shouldn't be doing it.
You shouldn't even be doing it.
Like the diet, like I said, the hypersexualism. Like
when you say hypersexualism, like
there's studies
because the thong, the leotards they wear.
No, like it's the
PEDs make you more like.
It's not even the PD. Like you're not on PEDs. Like when you look at your body, and there's studies on this. When you look at your body and you're looking at the small intricacies of what's right and what's wrong, and you're looking at the things that you want to fix, the things you're proud of. When you get to that point, you're proud of your body. You just don't want to keep that body for yourself. You want to share it, right? You start dressing a little more loosey. You start wearing things a little more tighter, right? You're setting off an image that attracts things, and you want somebody to touch, somebody to feel your body. So these bodybuilders in this community, they hypersexualize to the point where they go beyond just, like if they're a man, beyond women, they go with men. Right? Because it's just the idea of like, hey, someone's admiring my body that I've worked so hard for. And steroids, TRT, all these other things, human growth, they just accelerate it. So when you start putting on an image of like, oh, I look good, here's my body, and you're consumed with it, you just don't want to be consumed with, you want somebody to admire it.
Yeah.
And when somebody admires that, becomes a challenge. But that's where like the hypersexualism comes in place. And like these people, like in the bodybuilding community, they have no type of sexual retention to anything.
Yeah.
You're only like you're in that community, and like you talk about like restraint, like most of these people out here, like they're doing everything.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's true.
so that's like psychologically bodybuilding makes you narcissistic. Because you're focusing on how you look so much. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, I want to be in shape. I want to look a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're to the point where you're like, okay, like, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, or I got, like, you're obsessed with your body, like, it ain't it, man.
I think it's a perspective thing. Because, no, the reason why I say that is because I'm a person that likes to show off, like, my physique and everything. But the way I see it is, you know, this is not even my body. Like, God created, God put me in a body, and I have like discipline and consistency to build it in a certain way. And I think like we're all here, like each one teach one type of thing, where you give people around you energy based on like what your passion is. You know, you could teach people through that. And I think if I like show off a healthy, strong body, if I show off myself, or if I like try to motivate people through my passion of fitness, you know, that helps other people. You know,
It does. So. Yes.
But am I? Because this is really my logic. That's how. That's.
I think it's. I mean, like, I think that if you're in the fitness world, right, and you know, God, like I said, God's. So yeah, I mean, those are the main things about the fitness industry. Like, I'm like, hey, look, the perspective and how I look at it and how things turn out. You know, I don't know. So.
Because I want to go back to like what. Like the original question was what my 18-year-old self would say to me, because I said what I would say to my 18-year-old self. What I would say to what my 18-year-old self would say to me is probably, wow, you still are working out. You know, you stopped, you know, drinking, and like you're staying strong. But what
do you feel that? You?
Or like, oh, you don't have any kids?
Do you feel that you would have been consistent? Like at 18, you would still been consistent? You feel like you would have at that age? Like,
if what?
When you were 18, did you feel that? When you were 18, did you feel like, hey, you still be working out?
Yeah, I wasn't even in my mind. So I know the 18-year-old me would be surprised that I've taken that on.
Yeah.
I've taken that on. Yeah, he'd probably be surprised I'm not a pro athlete or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, because at that age, I thought I was the man. You know what I mean?
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. Like you the man.